All right, guys, thanks for joining us again. Today we are in media over here back on Painter Street where we actually started from, but we are at Artisan Painting. Today we're here with Mike Lieber and Jon Dyer, the two owners of the company. They are a local full painting company, whether it's full house painting, interior, exterior, or even spray cabinet painting. They will come, take the cabinets out, and they will repaint them. But I've known Mike for a few years, who then introduced Jon. We are networking people that, we first met in BNI a few years ago. They are one of the best painting companies in this area. They certainly are knowledgeable. And so we wanted them to come on because they are actually this year's Delaware County Chamber of Commerce Business of the Year.
Yes.
So Mike and Jon, appreciate you guys coming on.
Thank you.
Giving us some time here, talking about you guys. Yeah. So how do you explain your company to customers? What is it that you say you guys do to your customers, for new customers?
Yeah, we tell people that we paint houses inside out, from the roof down to the basement. One room or many. We specialize in kitchen cabinets. We actually offer a lifetime guarantee in our cabinet painting. We're the only company in the state of Pennsylvania that offers a lifetime guarantee with cabinet painting. That's how serious we feel about standing behind our product and the quality of the product we're offering. We also do epoxy floors, and we do home care repair services. So if you need drywall replaced, you need handyman services. We want to try to be a one-stop shop for our clients and be a resource for those in the area.
The spray stuff, the cabinets are all done in-house here. You have a climate-controlled drying room. You have your spraying room, right?
We do.
Right.
We do. We have a spray booth behind this wall. Like you said, temperature-controlled drying room, and that just gives us a virtually dust-free environment to be able to take somebody's cabinets from their house, be able to bring them back here and do them. Just cuts down the evasiveness that needs to happen in somebody's house. We don't have to completely take over a large section of the house. Although we're still spraying on site at the house for the frames that are left behind, we don't have to deal with taking over somebody's garage or setting up this massive structure to be able to paint, all the doors and everything at the same time.
Yeah, it's definitely an investment, the cabinet side of things, when you're spending a lot of money to revamp your kitchen, and a lot of our competitors are painting these cabinets in the garage or in the basement, and it's really hard to offer that level that we can offer here with dust-free environment, and are the temperatures correct in your garage when these things are curing overnight and stuff like that. So it's one thing that we've invested back into the company to elevate what we're putting out there for the clients.
So Jon, who is the ideal client for Artisan?
Basically the basic simple answer there is homeowners, right? Like we want to meet like a homeowner, but it's really somebody who's looking for a relationship. It's somebody that we often say that we're in a relationship business. It's just painting is just a service that we provide. So Mike mentioned earlier that we want to be a one-stop shop, and that's true. We want anything home. We want you to think of us first, and we've been doing it for a long enough time where we're luckily before Artisan started, I've been doing it for most of my life, and having that repeat business and that trust is just unmatched. So we're looking for people who want to invest in their home and invest in their people and build relationships.
So, the next question is, how'd you get started in the business? And you're going to tell me you've been doing this all your life.
Yeah.
So how did you guys both get started in the business?
Well, good.
So I grew up in the trades. My grandfather was a general handyman. Worked with him in the summers in high school. Kind of learned the business. Learned a lot of like jack of all trades kind of thing. Learned how to paint there. And then after high school, went to school for hotel restaurant management. Tried to break the chains of the trade, and spent a few years in the restaurant industry. That's where Mike and I met through some friends. So we were in our 20s then, and so at 27, I was married with 2 young kids, and just realized I made a mistake on the work-life balance, and the restaurant industry really started
hard.
It was hard, and the
hard
hours were hard, and not that this isn't hard, right?
No, yeah.
But the hours were really hard, and I was missing my kids grow up, and that was really tough for me. So kind of went back to my roots, started working with my dad and doing, sort of Dyer painting and restoration, had my own painting company for a while, worked with a house flipper and another painting company for a little while. All that was about a 10-year span of me figuring out how this was going to go. And then during that 10 years, Mike was in a parallel universe.
Yeah, I was in the restaurant business. I'd never done anything trade related. You know, at the time, couldn't really stand painting or plumbing or anything. Was not a handy person, but I was in the restaurant business for 18 years. Had a really long hospitality career, and it was something that was really near and dear to me. But after a while, like you guys were saying, I mean, you just get burnt out, and it's time for something else. And that something else for me came in the form of, these great friends that I had this amazing skill set, that were great painters, that I had worked with a few times in the restaurant. I had them do a project in my house, so I knew what they were able to do, and I knew that it was different. And as we all started talking about where we could go together, we kind of had this epiphany moment where we realized that all of us together were much stronger and could come together and form this group that could actually like really move something forward. And that's where the idea started. So for me, I believed in it incredibly, and just took this chance. And 12 years ago, I was like, well, I'm just gonna resign. I'm just gonna go for it. And went to work for, John and other partners at the time, had a business, and I went and worked for them, painted bedrooms and, bathrooms and trim, and learned how to repair drywall, and spent, the first 5 years every day in the field, and then go home at night and do all the administrative stuff and on the weekends, and I learned how to do that. But that for me was so much better than the quality of life that I didn't have in the restaurant business.
Yeah, restaurant business, you work when other people are off.
Yes.
Like that's kind of the whole bit, right? Like nobody goes to dinner with it.
Right.
Yeah.
You have to be there at dinner. Like that's just what that is. And so you want to be at home for your kids during dinner, ideally.
Yeah.
I can remember when I first started. I got home at 5:30. Like looking around my house, I felt guilty.
What am I doing?
Like I was doing something wrong. Like, I felt like I should be doing
Right,
but the
yeah.
day was over, and there were things to do that was just completely different.
Yeah, and just to piggyback that, like credit to Mike too, like coming in and had a really good understanding of how business runs and operations, and with his years in managing hundreds and thousands of people, like multiple areas, multiple restaurants in a region. So, to jump in and learn how to actually paint, like he wasn't looking to just learn the business to run the business. Like he put 5 years in becoming a professional painter. So when he's talking to a client, he knows what he's talking about. He knows how to do the job.
So the wanting to run your own business, and this is something that a lot of people don't, right? Like you watching your grandfather running a business, you running someone else's businesses. Like you were just both saying, when you go home, you're not just home. Right. There's always some process that could be written, some estimate that could be done.
Yes.
And you feel a little guilty until you realize that you have to be able to shut it off.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you will have no work-life balance. Yeah. But what was it about running your own business that, for both of you, why ultimately did you want to run your own business? Was it a little bit more freedom? Like,
I guess for me, like, I was doing it, although it was for somebody else.
Right.
And when I thought about what that next step could be, like I've always wanted to be the guy moving something forward. I've always had that desire to do it, so it just seemed like a natural switch for me that it shouldn't be somebody else's operation. It should be for mine, or part of somebody else. So I don't know if there was an actual moment where I just knew that was going to happen. Like I was leaving the restaurant business. I had this opportunity. I'm going to be part of, a group of guys that own this business. It's going to be ours. And I think for me, maybe at that time, the most attractive thing was there isn't anyone to look up and be like, oh, I screwed something up. What are you going to do to help me? No, you can only look in the mirror.
That's it. There's a mirror. There's you in it.
Yeah. And it just feels so much better. But it isn't. You said it. It's not for everyone. And knowing what you want and what you can do is, an important step in that.
John?
Yeah, like I said, the restaurant industry was definitely the catalyst to, missing my kids. So just kind of trying to, just can I start Jon Dyer painting, right? So I just did that. Just, can I keep my wife home for a couple years while these babies are little? And, so for 2 years I was able to do that. But no, my joke for why am I self-employed is because I'm probably not employable, and that's probably not true in a bad way. But I never really wanted to work for someone, and I'm a team player,
Right.
like I want to be on a team, and I want to, whether I'm a quarterback or a lineman, whatever,
Right.
like, I want to all push in the right direction. But that was the one thing for me is I never really wanted to work for anybody. I wanted to work with people.
So you guys also, you've won multiple times the Parents' Choice Award. I could be wrong on that.
Mainline Parent
Mainline Parent.
hosts a love award every year, where they award, the best of.
Right.
Their love award is the best of that category. And what makes it really special is there's dozens.
5 times? 5 times?
7 actually.
Get it. Don't get it.
Get it right.
Don't get it twisted.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, it's an important distinction in a row.
Yeah. Yeah.
What makes it really special is that it's not like the other best of awards in the area.
Right.
This is actually a committee reading client submissions and deciding and voting on which person should win that. So it's not just trades; it's all businesses. So plumbers, lawyers,
services,
accountants, any sort of service. And the people are writing in, your clients are writing in. They get, this committee reads 10 to 30 comments from your actual clients, and they're getting moved by this. And then we get nominated and awarded from that. So it just makes it really, really special.
So serving Delaware County and the main line, you guys have worked all over the place, but what is so different about serving this area, right? The media, the 476 corridor.
Yeah,
What is a little different?
Delco's just, it's cool. It's special for us, obviously, because we started here. Our family's here. We grew up here. all of our friends are here. Like, the small businesses, our network, personal and professional, is very heavily Delco rooted. And and I'll tell you, Mike, but we all got each other's back down here. There's a really cool collaboration in the trades that is sort of a new insurgency with what we grew up with the old school guys being like, the hell with everybody.
Yeah.
So
that's exactly what it was.
Right.
25 years ago when I started this, there was no really cooperation in between multiple service companies. Nobody talked with each other. Nobody really wanted to talk to each other.
Right.
There was, I got my customers and I want yours.
Right.
And now I think it's the exact opposite, because all the younger guys came in and they were like, what do you mean? There's only a handful of us now.
Right.
Like, why aren't we working together?
Well, especially like other painters. Like we love meeting other painters in the area. Sometimes it can be mutually beneficial, whether through business, or sometimes they might learn from us, we might learn from them. Sometimes they can go to an area that we can't go to, or whatever. They can get something tomorrow, we might not be able to. So, but Delco for us is just, we couldn't imagine being in a better spot than media. And then not to mention, anytime we have like take the team out for breakfast or a coffee thing or any kind of restaurant, like we're loaded with good food and great places around here. So, Delco's where it's at. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Yeah, proud to call it home.
What is probably the number one misunderstood thing about painting, the painting industry?
I don't know that it's number one. It's probably debatable, but I think it's the fact that you can just open a gallon of paint and put it on the walls. And it's easy. It's just paint. Anyone can do it. And that is true. Anyone can do it.
Anyone can do that.
Right. Mm-hmm. But there's a distinction between painting and painting professionally. And knowing how to get professional results takes a lot of time. It's not just throwing paint up. There are people thinking that, we're getting a bedroom painted for $600. That's 15-year ago pricing. Things have evolved since then. You can't feed a family like that anymore. So, but the preparation, what it takes to protect your house so that the paint goes where it's supposed to go. There's just so much that goes into that. And you think about doing DIY stuff, it's stressful. You got to put drop cloths out and you got to plastic things off. And maybe you don't take the right time to do that because you're rushing or you don't really want to deal with that. And that's just the biggest difference when you hire a professional. The house gets protected at a high level. Paint goes where it's supposed to go. There's a way to get professional results, and that comes from in the prep and the site protection.
The prep and the protection, the PP, is one of the things that I think most people don't understand about your industry. Just painting over oil-based trim.
Right.
Yeah,
How's that going to work out for you?
I did
2
that.
years later, right?
Yeah,
Like,
maybe not even,
I was
Yeah.
in a house this morning, and a client said, "Oh, can't you just sand that and paint that real quick?" Yeah, and you can do that. You can do that whole little sand, but it's gonna come off. You want to stick. You want to get the right adhesion qualities, and there's certain ways to achieve that.
prep and protection. So what would you say is one of the biggest mistakes that homeowners or contractors have when they hire a painting company?
For me, it's being price driven, like, and that's okay, and we're gonna find that out.
Everything.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
It's
you only
okay.
have so much money for
It's
a
okay,
project,
right? And
Like,
we're gonna find that out through our conversation and our pre-qualification if that's what's the most important thing to you,
Right.
and it's okay that if that is, So, but what we want to make sure that it's all apples and apples, right? And that might not only be price, it might be people, it might be products, So if we're estimating something, we're going to prime it and do 2 coats, and John Smith Painting is estimating it that they're just going to put 1 coat of paint on it, obviously they're going to be cheaper, and they again may be okay with that, but when they leave the conversation with us, they're going to know exactly what they're getting with the other painter and what they chose not to go with. So it's really important to us to know, like, what are you looking for, what are your goals. Sometimes your goals are just do this and a little bit of painting, and maybe that's not the client for us, because we don't want the callback, right? We want it to last. So I think it's if price is your main your driver, then I would lead with that the price is important. This is my budget. If you're worried about people that are going to be in your home and the service provided, then it's a different conversation, all of which we're going to figure it out during our pre-qualification anyway, to figure out what your goals are. But ultimately, if price is your first concern, and you haven't done any research on products, or you haven't done any research on longevity or any of that, then we might be educating you a little bit on what might be your better option.
The conversation I had with somebody last week was we had given them a number for a new sewer replacement, and they said that we were the highest of the 3 companies that they had. And I said, listen, we are giving you this price for our replacement.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like me to give you the price for their jobs?
Right.
Because that's what you're looking at.
Right.
And everybody always says apples to apples, oranges to oranges, right? But it's that, excluding the prep in ours, it's our execution. It's the fact that we're putting rubber mats on the ground to put the dirt on.
Right.
We're not just putting the dirt on the ground and we're going to have short dirt. We're not going to bring dirt, and we don't have to. There are steps for every job, and certain companies will skip some steps where they can if they have to.
Right.
But what you hit it on the head there is not every customer is right for you.
Right.
We say that all the time, and I tell people running their own businesses or starting their own businesses, if you can't say 2 letters, N-O,
right,
you will not be in business very long.
Yeah.
Because not every customer is right for you.
Right.
Not every customer is right for me, because sometimes it is a number. But sometimes it's just that customer may want something that you're not comfortable doing, or in a fashion that they want it done, and we're not able to do that for them. So saying no to a customer is sometimes very hard.
Even and he's better at that than I am. I will say that but even just being like, hey, go back to the other contractor. We'd like to see the other estimate. We don't need to know who the other team is, but it's just go back to the other contractor and ask them about why only 1 coat, or why no primer, or why this product, or why only these many hours.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just so so you're at least going to leave the experience with us knowledgeable,
right?
And you're going to know exactly what you're getting.
So trends in the industry. What are we seeing in the painting industry trends? Are we looking at epoxy walls at this point where it's forever lasting stuff? What is it? I mean, listen, I just told you guys we just ordered epoxy machine. Like,
Yeah.
so what is it in your industry that's changing? Obviously, we've gone from oil to latex to. But what is it in your industry that we're seeing as a change right now?
I mean, there's definitely product changes. Water-based paints are definitely improved tenfold from what they were years ago, as people are looking for low VOC options, no VOC options, are looking for not as harmful products. So there's definitely a lot there that's improved. I mean, pretty much, yes, we use oil primer when it's needed and called for, but our cabinet coatings are water-based, and these things are performing at the level that two-part products were performing years ago that are a little bit more harmful. They're more for like in a factory than in somebody's house.
Right.
From a design standpoint and trends wise, we're still seeing a lot of white everywhere, a lot of white kitchens. Epoxy floors are having a resurgence, and that's something that we've been offering.
Garages,
this year.
rec room, basements.
Yeah, basements. You can even do outdoor walkways, patios, cement services.
Outdoor walkways.
Yeah.
That are fully exposed.
Yep.
UV
Yep.
with the
resistant.
right products.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. You can't go to Home Depot and buy.
No, the
Yeah.
Rust-Oleum
Yeah,
garage
yeah.
covering.
Yeah, but they're out there, and there's all sorts of floor coatings.
Driveway stuff yet, or
Not over asphalt, but a cement driveway could
Yeah.
be done.
really?
Yeah.
And it would hold up.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's
And
not
just,
exactly something we want.
sorry.
That
No,
we
go
want to go into.
Right.
But that stuff's out there. But basements, things like that.
Right.
Seeing a lot of green right now too, color wise, and wallpaper's on its way back too.
Wallpaper's back. I mean,
Really?
that's like, and we do that. So like, but yeah, I mean, on a big level. there's some-
Are you seeing that in like whole houses? Like, I don't mean whole houses, but
Yeah.
living rooms, dining rooms,
It's a lot of
powder
focal,
rooms,
mostly focal stuff, powder rooms,
Yeah.
or like we did just one a living room. She did her living room, but it's like she has wainscoting halfway up,
Yeah.
top half of the wall. Same thing in her bedroom, powder
Really?
room.
In the bedroom
yeah,
also?
Yeah, yeah,
Accent walls.
yeah.
Accent
lots
walls,
of accent
yeah.
walls, yeah. And to piggyback on the material thing, but Sherwin-Williams just put out a zero VOC plant-based product for indoor painting. So a lot of times
Vegan.
if they're
Smells like blueberries.
yeah. a lot of people with babies in the house, or if a woman's pregnant, or if they have some sort of issues with VOCs or chemicals in the paint, like this is a really good product that doesn't have an offensive smell.
How long does the
Like,
blueberry
yeah.
smell stay for? That's what I want to know.
Until it dries. Until it dries, yeah.
Like,
It's
whoa,
wet.
really?
Not for
It's a wet paint thing, but it's a nice option for people who might have sensitivity to
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
But yeah,
It's a true zero VOC.
yeah,
Because it's literally plant based.
yep.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Different.
We briefly talked about running a business. What do you each think is the hardest part about running business, your own business? What would you say, in your experience, what is the hardest thing to do, whatever it is? What do you think it is?
It's funny
For
'cause,
you.
like, well, so I'm
sure it's different.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
like-
Well, we have
you do
different
different stuff.
answers here. Yeah, we have different answers here. But it comes around to the same thing. So, I think my answer for that is as we scale and as we grow bigger and as we get more people on staff, how do we protect the brand and what we offer to our clients? And it's not as hard as I thought it would be, because we're in the process of seeing that now, and we've seen evolution to that over the last 12 years, where because it used to be us, and then it wasn't us for a while, and we were like, oh no, it's not us. Like, how does that work out? So there's been different iterations of us doing less and less in the field, per se.
Yeah.
So that has been probably one of the hardest hurdles for me over the years, but something that is really starting to come together over the last couple. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, and I mean, and I would say that people, I usually would say people, finding great people that, quality people that you can attract and retain, and like really finding people that can care. I mean, it's always going to be at the top of the list, but it's like really close at this point where trying to build repeatable systems that take thought process but just happen, and that they're exactly how it sounds. If people can pick up something, they can read it, and they can repeat it over and over and over again. So I don't know which comes before that. I think you need the people but you also need the repeatable system. And it's not something that just lives in our heads. Like, it's got to be written down. There's got to be a step-by-step process. And so I think it's both of those things.
Yeah. I mean, excuse me.
I
It
know you
does. It
feel
does
that
come
way,
to. Yeah,
too.
it does come to people,
Too.
and you know, we're lucky that we've found a few unicorns over the years that have really, you know, that care about our brand, protect our brand, and do incredible work. But we're also a very picky company, and to be an artisan, you have to kind of, you know, jump through a lot of hoops to make sure that you not only fit the profile that we want with a teammate, but you got to fit the profile of what we call a doorbell ringer too, right? You have to be an exceptional person in front of our clients, and appearance wise and personality wise, and you know, to be a good clean cut professional that can do good clean cut professional work is really hard to find. So we're grateful for the people that we have, and if we could, you know, multiply them somehow, that would be amazing. But we're always looking for other unicorns. But you know, right, like that, finding those
Culture.
exceptional people are
It's
amazing.
culture. You
Yeah.
guys have created a culture here.
Yeah.
People are out
And
there. Yeah.
you're just trying to stick with that. And the
Yeah.
people I think you brought on see that and want to be a part of that. That's usually what happens, right? Like you have to build a culture. You guys did that by yourselves, and then have now started bringing people on who want to be in that culture. I think
Yeah.
nobody wants to work, right? Nobody wants to wake up and be like, all right, I'm going to work. But we do it. And so if you're doing it, you want to be a part of something that is building, and you're a part of something that the building is rewarding, and not just I got a job from 9 to 5, right?
Yeah. It's hard to find.
So what advice would you give to yourself from 10 years ago?
Ooh, that's a great question.
Knowing now that you've gone through
Yeah, for me, you know, even
Just
going back to
business or
just
personal?
business, just business.
both, yeah,
Just
yeah,
business.
both, yeah.
We don't got that much time.
Personal would be start golfing. Damn. So 10 years ago, that would have been great because I didn't, you know, so I'd, if I could started golfing 10 years ago, I'd be much better than I am right now. So no, for me, I think going back to what I just said a few minutes ago about like you know, sort of holding on too long, and me being, you know, doing a lot of work in the field for the first 8 years of the company, and thinking that it has to be me, right? Like I think that if I had gotten out of my own way years before that, I think it would have given us an ability to be able to grow sooner. So.
What do you got?
Probably tell myself to slow down, focus on the foundation.
Don't worry about expansion. Don't worry about growth.
Yeah, focus on the
build
expansion,
the foundation.
get the systems right, you know, like you know, and you know, don't be afraid to say no, and don't be afraid to say yes too.
Yeah.
The one thing about building the foundation first is, do you know how that foundation's supposed to be built, right? Like we always
now I do. Right? Yeah, like 10 years.
Why? Because there was mistakes, there was learning.
Yeah.
Listen, we write SOPs now based off of a problem.
Sure.
Right.
We have created a ton of different things, action plans, SOPs, whatever, however you want to say that. We create new ones when there is a problem.
Yeah.
So ultimately, unless you do have a business coach when you start out, it's hard to put SOPs or action plans in place because you don't know what they are.
Right.
Yeah.
So looking back and going, yeah, I wish we had a foundation. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I think I know it's not the question you asked, but advice that you're giving to other people is, because it goes along with that and what you just said, you know, don't be afraid to ask for help. Find people that you can lean on, because although we had a group of people that all came from different backgrounds, that had different experiences, so they're able to lean on a management experience, technical execution, product knowledge, all of these things.
Customer service.
Yeah,
There for all of you, right?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
But, you know, through all of the networking we do now and meeting people that are just getting started, having that resource to be able to talk to, picking the phone up and just being able to call you and being like, hey, what do you think about this? And, you know, and be able to kind of brainstorm and spitball that back and forth will be so valuable. And if I was starting over, that's what I would tell myself.
Find somebody who runs a
Find
business
somebody
already has made all the mistakes
Yeah.
that you can listen to and ask questions to.
Right,
Find
ask questions.
somebody
Be
that
curious,
does-
right? Like that's the thing is like you
I love
don't-
that. I love that. Be curious.
Be curious,
Yeah.
man. Like because if you're just if you're not asking questions, you're not getting better.
Yeah.
You're not interested. You know, like so it just we you know, I think not for to be too hard on ourselves, but I think we're always with the mindset that, we'll figure it out. Like we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And that's true. Like we've figured it out.
Right.
But not until, I would say a handful of years ago, where we like, oh, we have these people in our network that have this knowledge base that also have another network that, so if we have this pain point, like I can talk to this person or these people about these things. And
Yeah.
if we had that, 5 years, 10 years earlier, that would have been pretty good, a lot more beneficial. But it's like, now like that's how it goes.
All right, so you guys are all over Delco main line. Favorite restaurants?
I mean, I live in Aston. I love Gennaro's little hometown spot.
Is that BYOB?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Mm. I've never been there.
Oh.
Not yet.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to be.
Right across the street from where we had breakfast.
That's what I thought. That in that little strip mall.
Yeah, it's great. Food's great.
They do takeout?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, wait.
Yeah, they do. Nothing beats eating it there though.
Yeah.
But yeah, for a hometown spot.
What
That's
do you
a
got?
good one. It's funny because now I am no longer living in Delco, so and I got plenty of great, Delco like the cheesesteak spots and all that. But we have a place that's now it's in Huntington Valley. I live out in Elkins Park. It's called Lavaglia Mediterranean. It's an incredible sort of Italian like fusion food. It's incredible. It's like just one of our. Nobody in my family hates it. We all go there. It is also BYOB. The owner runs around with like vodka and his pork chops. Like it's an incredible place. But for Delco, it's been quite some time since we've moved out of Delco. I guess about 8 years ago. But I'm a big fan of Anthony's. Can't go wrong there. And then all these media spots in here, like Spazzo's is incredible. I love Off the Rail for just like a little, hole in the wall bar. Sorry, Vince, I didn't mean hole in the wall, but like I said earlier, there's no shortage of awesome places in Delco.
So one of the things about working for yourself is you have to be able to let go. You have to. I don't care who you are. If you don't, you will not be working for yourself for very long. If you can't separate, what do you guys like to do outside of work?
For me right now, it's all about family. I got a little 2-year-old at home. It's all about just spending time with them. That's my hobby at the moment.
It's cool to see, like, just so my kids are in their 20s. So I have, 20, 23, and 25. Oldest works for us, which is great. So it just neat, because 12 years ago, my kids were little and I was in it. And, the flexibility was given to me to be able to do all those things. So it's really neat to see Mike be able to it's not there yet, but all these like soon to be dance recitals, softball games, all that stuff. Like I'm excited for him, and we'll certainly.
I'm excited for him.
Yeah, I am.
You have no clue, bro.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
I keep.
He's gonna get to go.
My sister's dance recitals and how awful it was.
It's different.
My wife keeps reminding me.
Yeah. It's different when it's your baby girl and she's like all in that little pink stuff with her little tutu. You'll be up there crying, taking pictures.
You will for the 20 minutes, and that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But the rest of the day, while you're sitting there waiting for that to happen.
Yeah. So hopefully she gets into like softball and soccer and lacrosse and
sports
stuff like
are.
that. So,
as someone whose 3 daughters Irish dance, I can tell you.
Yeah.
The last 2 Saturdays ago we were down in Wilmington, and we were there all day down the Radisson Hilton or whatever one it is by the waterfront. We were there all day Saturday. I think all 3 of them danced for a combined, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And we were there from like 7:15 in the morning to 6 at night. And they danced for a combined, half an hour at most. Yeah. Probably less than that.
Yeah.
But you're right. Like the watching them grow, watching them go from the beginners to the intermediates to the advanced now, and watching them win, watching them lose,
right,
and watching them though grow as a human or into a human, I should say, and have these different learning moments from the winning and the losing is awesome because you see how then they react the next time, and
for sure.
So as someone who spends a lot of their free time with their kids. That's why I do what I do is to be able to give our kids a life, right? Like,
no, absolutely. I mean, I mentioned golf, so I try to play as much golf as I can, especially this time of year. But now that my kids are grown, like I mentioned. So, but I was a coach and I did all the youth sports and I did all the, so now I'm like on the back end of that. They're not really as involved as they once were. So now I'm trying to figure out, what do I like to do? What are my hobbies?
Right.
So other than golf, I'm searching for some hobbies. So.
I always say it's easier for me to play 9 holes during the week than it ever is on the weekend, because that's never going to happen anytime soon.
Yes.
I don't get to play golf on the weekends. I get to play during the week when I can.
Yeah.
But that's just, I can't wait for my kids to get a little older and be able to do that.
Yes.
But I don't want that time to fly. And that's the thing. You have to enjoy it in the moment. It's like running your own business. You do have to sometimes step back and you have these awards around your office. You just kind of sit back and be like, yeah, we did that.
Yeah.
Right? Like there is no real, somebody patting your back all day, every day. There is no, we try to do that for my employees, and we try to tell them great job all the time. And I say thank you to them all the time. Even when they just came into work and they're leaving for the day, hey, thanks for coming in. Right?
Yep.
Like, nobody does that. Nobody does it to us, right?
Yeah.
So
no matter how stressed you get, like you got to give yourself some grace sometimes, and just take a second and take it in, and because we have a tendency to just keep moving forward without really acknowledging or celebrating some small victories, and even some of the awards are more than small victories.
Right.
But if you don't take the time to enjoy it, kind of miss
Well,
out.
it's like, and going back to the kids too, like being on the other side of it, like I didn't miss anything.
Right.
So like and that's my advice to any kind of parent out there, especially if you own your own business. Even if you don't, like, it's so temporary, all this stuff. Like, and if they play in high school, cool, you get a couple more years. If they play in college, cool, you get a couple, but it's still temporary. It's still, like, so you're gonna not go to something because of work. Like, that work is gonna be there, and some people can't do that, but that's the power of being self-employed and giving yourself that flexibility. Work-life balance is number one. I'm gonna go to this thing.
What's a topic that you both could talk about for an hour? Not painting. One topic.
Probably like TV, Game of Thrones.
I could talk about.
Yeah.
I could talk about running a business for an hour.
No, come on. Outside, what?
We can.
Yeah.
I
know. We could talk movies. We could.
Football, definitely big. We're in a couple fantasy football leagues together. There's a lot of that.
Bourbon.
With the bourbon in common, and then I mean, like, we have a really cool circle of friends that, because of the restaurant industry all those years ago. So a bunch of us still hang out. So there's no shortage of conversation there. But I definitely think that we come in and we're watching those whatever the show is. Did you see it? Did you see it? Like, or that's always the first like 5 minutes of the Monday. Did you guys catch that over the weekend or whatever? Catch up on a game and stuff. So yeah. We're no shortage of.
Jean doesn't really watch TV. Every time I ask her to the show, she's like, "No, I've never seen it." I'm like, "Come on! You seen the Pit? No, I've never seen the Pit."
Yeah.
So, recapping on your guys' services, exterior painting, you are doing on the exterior. You will do the wood repairs that are on the exterior. Full prep on that stuff, ladder work, which some guys don't do.
Right.
You'll do high reach work on that, right? Do you do exterior commercial stuff? So will you do a spray building or something like that?
Warehouses, storefronts, like something downtown media.
Right.
But warehouses, anything commercial.
So interior, we're doing sprays, we're doing rolls, we're doing partial repairs, just single room offs.
Mm-hmm.
If you got a new kid coming in who's moving into it, you're switching your kids up, which I think I'm going to do.
Finish carpentry, we handle all
trim
that.
work.
So any kind of, any special trim work, crown molding, wainscoting.
How about saving trim? So like sometimes you go into some older buildings, will you guys get that? You'll take that out and try to get that removed from a company,
We've done
right?
that in the past, they'll try to remill something that needs to get made or
Right.
something, or just trying to. I mean, we're ultimately trying to save what exists, and then only replace it if it's rotted or unrepairable.
Especially this area is so old. You get Swarthmore, Bryn Mawr, some of these Villanova areas, houses are early 19, even 18, like, and you're like, dude, you can't just put a piece of trim in there. It's gonna look like.
And if you get something made, it's gonna be expensive. So if we can, save it and try to, save the client some money in that, and be able to patch it and repair it instead of having to replace certain things. But if it's rotten and beyond repair, we can figure that out too.
Do you work with guys for windows in terms of if you realize all this is rotted?
Yeah.
You
Yes.
wood windows, stuff like that.
Yeah.
You can replace some of that if some of those
Yeah,
sashes are
and when
completely gone.
we have contractor friends doing networking that we could bring in to do like, and if it's actually the actual window, the sash.
Right.
But anything beyond that, anything with the sill rotted into that, like we can handle all that in house. So
Yeah,
It's,
window glazing. If it's
Right.
yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
Some of those again, old houses. That's
Yeah.
just what's there, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, a lot of that borderlines restoration work and like getting it back to
yeah,
right.
what it was originally.
And then spray stuff. So we're spraying full cabinets, kitchen cabinets, bathroom cabinets,
yeah. Built-ins.
built-in cabinets. You'll spray. Anything else? Epoxy floorings for garages. You
Yeah.
guys are doing.
Yep.
So is there any other services that
Wallpaper,
wallpaper
home care, repair,
and the handyman stuff, right? Will you
hanging
guys?
pictures.
Will you guys hang? Will you hang?
Yeah.
Will you hang TVs?
Yes.
Stuff like that. So you'll get an electrician in there to put wires in the wall and have that as a really finished, clean look.
Yeah.
Especially in like built-in stuff like that.
Yeah.
Not see any of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't do anything electrical. or
Right.
plumbing.
But again, our partners, we have
Right,
a
you
huge
bring in-
network of
Just like us, we're not going to do that in-house, but we will
yeah.
allow that to happen and make
Yes.
sure it gets done correctly.
Yep.
That's awesome.
If it's got a coating and it can be painted, we have an option for it.
Okay.
Just about everything, yeah.
If you got a painting or a coating, we have an option for it.
If it needs to be painted
Yeah.
or it needs
Yeah.
coating, yeah.
That's that simple.
Yeah.
So listen, if you're in the market or you're looking around your house going, man, these walls, these walls could use some help. If you're looking at your basement going, man, my kids are getting ready to start having their own basement playroom, right? And it's not just rubber flooring down and you really want to start having a room down there. Artisan Painting can certainly help move that and expedite that process. Their processes they use are in-house. They are really well done at this point, and they are extremely functional. So, when we have set out to start talking to some of our companies, these guys are one of the best plumbing companies. And I said at the beginning, and I'm not lying, painting is prep. If you do not prep that area correctly and do not take care of that area, you will not be happy with that product over the lifetime or over the longevity of that room. Like they said, you can splash some paint on a wall and looks great for a month. It doesn't hold up. It's just like anything else, right? We don't use cheap materials in our industry. They don't use cheap paint in their industry because it doesn't hold up. So one of the reasons we started this was to be able to talk with great companies, talk with great people who are actually doing stuff in our community. And John and Mike are certainly two of them. But we just appreciate you guys taking your time, and
Yeah.
Thank
I
you.
wish you best going forwards.
Yeah.
Thank you, brother.
Thanks,
Appreciate it.
brother.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks,
you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for tuning in, and we look forward to you on the next one.
Who's your painter?
Artisan.